Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the furniture with me, Daniel. We're starting a brand new season again, and this time it's starting with a bit of deja vu, as we start with exactly the same game as last year, the Community Shield final against Manchester City. It's a different manager this year in Jurgen Klopp, but other than that it's all identical, as we go to a wet and windy Wembley, hoping to get the victory this time around. We've of course got some major transfer news before that though, as 3 massive money deals came in this summer, and possibly a couple of surprises going out as well. You can give me a verdict on that in a few moments. And then we look forward to the Premier League season, and our second year of Champions League football. It's the one big trophy we've got remaining, and we're hoping we can go on a run this year. You might be able to see a few headlines from the home screen here at the moment, so there's obviously one in terms of a departure in the board confidence, though that's not a huge surprise. You can see one that's still here because of Shane Mason-Smith. He's got a promise at the bottom of the screen, but otherwise there's still plenty of positives this summer, despite it being one of our most frustrating years. But as we start another season, firstly a massive thanks to everyone that continues to follow the series. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel then please do subscribe for daily FM19 content, as well as 3 episodes a week from our Cricket 19 career. We've got FM20 just round the corner as well, where we won't be managing Torquay United, but of course we'll certainly keep an eye on them. They got promoted in real life too, so now they're up in the National League and doing a pretty good job under Gary Johnson. You can see from our finances on the right of the screen that our bank balance is hugely depleted compared to the start of the summer. It was a 9-figure sum at the start of the window, and now it's obviously down to just 16 million. So you can tell from that we've been active, we've made all the transfers we're going to make this summer, and we're going to be able to sell a couple more on, so it will rise very slightly, and I've no idea why we've still got a big transfer budget, as we're not going to be able to pay that off if we did spend another 95 million. Easy to see why these clubs get in debt, because the owners seem to throw everything at them. But let's go and have a look at our transfers first. Always the most exciting part of episode 1. We've got a few outs that are still in progress. We'll come back and look at those in a moment, but let's look at the 4 ins, which make a combined £201 million. One of them you obviously knew about already, one's a free agent, and then there's another 2 big ones we did last week, just to try and bolster our squad in key areas. Then so far we've sold £65 million worth of talent, that there's another 45 or 50 on the way out, so we're certainly going to be balancing the books slightly, and we'll be in a fairly healthy position financially. So let's go and have a look at the outs first, of course completely dominated by loan deals, but the first big out is Juan Manuel Ramos, a player who was unhappy at a lack of first team football, and we couldn't begrudge him the move, particularly as a reserve player for the money we could get in, and of course we had that homegrown problem in the squad as well, so we had to try and balance that in all of these deals. So the big news with Ramos is we got £30 million for him, a man we signed as a free agent 3 years prior. 39 league appearances and countless ones in the cups, and he did a really decent job for us overall, as well as making a 30 million profit of course. So we wish him all the best at Leicester, and I'm sure he'll have a good season there. I think they are Premier League now, are they? They are. They're a Premier League club this season, and I've no doubt he'll be first choice for them. The next little sale was Rami Hassan, a youngster who showed some promise in previous years, been on loan at Luton and Coventry in the past, and made 4 league appearances for us. Those were all before we reached the Premier League though. In fact they weren't, they were in our first Premier League season. I really thought they were in the Championship for some reason. So he has played Premier League games, but he's gone to Cheltenham for 1.3 million, and they're one of the surprises at If Save now. They've been promoted to the Championship, and he's now their key signing of the summer. I don't think they bought anyone in for more than that, though we did keep a little eye on them afterwards, as they seem to be building a decent squad, including Ferret, our young keeper, who played in that magical game against Arsenal about a year and a half ago. So a really decent summer for them, and we wish them well in the Championship. But we had 2 more big deals that have been confirmed so far. Gabriel Recchio, the centre-half, he went to Wolves for just under 20 million. A good player at 28 years of age, but he was our 4th choice and dropped to 5th once we signed Nsingi, and as a result we couldn't find a place for him, so needed to take the money. We signed him for 3.2 million from Atletico Madrid 4 years ago, so a fantastic piece of business for the club, and he did a really good job for us in the Premier League, particularly in the year he was first choice. So another player going to play Premier League football, and then Tariq Opoku was the last one. We basically had a choice between him and Darren Palmer, who was our third choice striker out on loan. He's going to be coming in and playing in the squad this year because he's not just homegrown in the country, he's also homegrown in the club, which means he can be in a Champions League squad. So Opoku goes to West Brom for an initial 15 million, a 25-year-old Englishman, another man we signed on a free. That was after his release from Chelsea 3 years ago, following loan spells at Leicester and Celtic. And in 2 seasons for us, he didn't play much in the league, but was an absolute hero in Europe. That first season when we won the Europa League, he contributed 5 goals in that run, and he'll always be remembered as a good solid pro who never complained about being a backup. So I really am thankful for his support over the years, and we wish him all the best at West Brom, who I think are also in the Premier League now. Yes, they are, so all 3 going to play Premier League football, and then Rami Hassan drop into the Championship. We won't look at the loans too much, as there aren't many surprises there. David Montano is one big one that's gone out. We wanted to keep him as backup keeper this year, but again we had to sign a homegrown player and allow him to go to Porto. We need to have more homegrown ones in the squad, and with Shane Mason-Smith leaving, we needed a backup who was also from the country. The only other big loan I can think about here, in addition to the likes of Alan Wood, Laurent Brunet, who's gone to Sevilla, he's a wonder kid who we hope will get football there and maybe come back a superstar. But Stuart John, who was involved in the squad last season, needs some first team football now as he's approaching 18 years of age. He's going to Nottingham Forest, who I think are in the Championship. They are, so hopefully he'll play games there. Already made 1 start for the club and scored 2 goals in that one. So he looks like he's going to be a star, and fingers crossed he'll come back from Forest a significantly improved player and ready for first team football in the Premier League, or at least to be involved in the squad. But let's move on to the 4-ins. 3 massive money signings, the first of which you're already aware of. We met him a couple of times last year as the deal was pre-agreed well before. And Singi from Fulham, who are a Premier League side, a 4-star centre-half with 5-star ability. It's a fee rising to over £65 million, but at 20 years of age, he's homegrown in the country. He's already got 43 caps for Belgium, so he's been a good player for some time. Physically, he's an absolute monster. Mentally, he's really strong as well. And aside from heading, he's technically good, so there's no complaints about this one. He's definitely going to be involved as a centre-half and possibly as a right-back as well. It's one of the positions we've not improved too much, so we could give him a chance out there if need be. But a really good signing and a good start to the summer, and he's going to serve this club for years. Then secondly is our cheap replacement for Shane Mason-Smith. A 1-year deal for Jack McMahon. He's obviously signed with us for a bit longer, but I'd imagine we're going to sell him after this season. A natural sweeper keeper should we need it. He's worth 6.75 million now. A 2.5-star English goalkeeper. 2-footed as well, which is great. And then interestingly has the player trait, which is avoids to use weaker foot. And I'm not sure why if he's 2-footed, but we're not going to worry about that for now. A really solid backup goalkeeper, and if we need him, I'm sure he'll do a job for us. Then on to the last 2, the positions we had a gap in the squad. Pedro Cura is a right back from Real Madrid, fees raising to £75 million. 4-star ability, 4-star potential, Spanish international right back at 22 years of age, and he looks a really solid player across the board who will compete with Richard Quirk at right back. The professional personality is something important to me, and again he's played over 60 times for Real Madrid, so he looks like he's going to be a superstar. A decent wage as well, so I'm really pleased with that signing, and it was closely followed by the one of Malik Kante from Paris Saint-Germain for £58 million. And this is the deal with our transfers these days. We're only doing it if it improves the squad, and that's why they're often few and far between, and big money signings as well. So he's 3.5-star ability, 4-star potential, a 2-footed midfielder who dictates the tempo of the game, likes his long-range passing as well, a good playmaker, a decent Mazzala, and he can play in the holding role as well. A really solid footballer across the board, physically, mentally and technically strong, and hopefully is as good as his previous namesake, N'Golo Kante, who was a superstar. So in my book, 4 really good signings, and of course a few that have gone to make way for them, and there are a couple more that are potentially going out in the near future. Talasise, unfortunately, is one of them, hasn't really recovered from his broken leg, 17 million up front with 27 in the future. River Plate and Boca Juniors in Argentina. It'll be interesting to see which one he chooses. A really solid player, but he's starting to decline. He's 28 now and just coming back from that broken leg, and although he's been a brilliant servant, he does want to leave as well, so who are we to stand in the way? He's been a fantastic player for us. And then the other one is Shane Mason-Smith. Obviously we decided after his antics last year, where he was unavailable for the title decider because he'd been out at a nightclub, he's going now to Besiktas, who are paying over £20 million for him, so a slight profit despite his antics last season and the fact he barely played a game for us. A really good keeper, and it'll be sad to see him go, as he could have been really special, but I can't deal with people with his attitude, so we'll just let him go to another club. So with those transfers done, let me know who you think's going to be the star. There are a couple of fantastic bits of news on the dynamic screen, as you can see from the unhappiness here. One of the players that does not feature is Richard Quirk, who has finally in the last couple of weeks agreed that he's going to stay at the club. He's resolved his differences with us, and as soon as this interest starts to clear after the window, we will agree a new deal with him to stop all of the talk externally. Boubacar Sylla's still unhappy, but it's a position we couldn't find a player, so in the end him and Kozul had to stay, despite an eye-watering 45 million bid for Kozul. Bruno Moraes is unhappy he couldn't join Liverpool, but they're no longer interested in him, so I hope that one will end pretty quickly, as he's going to be a crucial player for us. Cissé's on his way, as is Shane Mason-Smith, so I don't need to worry about the rest of them. But with all the transfer news out the way, let's go and get into the season's curtain raiser. It's the same fixture as it was last year, albeit with a different manager for City. Hopefully we'll be able to get the better of them this time, rather than losing out on penalties again. So let's go and have a look at our lineup for the match. We have rotated a little bit in this one. We tried to give games to players who haven't got as much fitness, and we tried to keep those who are first teamers on the bench and ones who are a little bit tired out of the squad entirely. So as a result of that, we've got Stojanovic in goal. We've got fullbacks Cura and Zitinho coming in, with McDonnell and Hole in the middle. Raphael's in the holding role, purely because he needs match sharpness, and Gerben Bacanez is a little bit fatigued, so he's just going to sit on the bench today. Keita and Kante, the new signing in midfield, with Yeladian and Kozul on the wings. Yeladian's been training brilliantly in pre-season, so I'm hoping he'll come to life this year, and then Alex Andrade up front on his own, who will hopefully have a better year in front of goal. The likes of Moniverson and Lappin need match fitness on the bench, as do Rutherford, Sousa and Prober, but Bacanez and Quirk are just on there for experience. We need to have leaders in the squad on the bench. The likes of McMahon aren't available yet, nor is Omar and Nsingi, who both need a rest, and Darren Palmer's just going to be a squad player this year, so we won't see him in the 18 too often. The tactic's the same as last year. It worked fantastically over the last 24 months, so we're going to give it a chance to win us competitions again as we get into the first game of the season against City. It's a 4-2-3-1 for City. Some usual names in there, we play them quite often. So many big names we recognise. Almost the opposite to last year, where we went for basically our full 11 and they'd rested quite a few. That hasn't happened this year, it's the other way round, and Pedro Cura looks stressed on his debut, something that's a little bit concerning. But these lads are going to put up a fight, I'm sure. Stuart Jelling is still here in the background. We have got rid of a few of our coaches and improved our squad very slightly there. Our backroom staff is an important team too, so we have improved it where possible. Particularly on the scouting side of things, that's where we've made the most improvements. You obviously met our director of football towards the end of last year, Michael Edwards, the one who's currently in the media at Liverpool at the moment in real life. He's obviously been in a bit of a controversy there with Saido Berahino's agent in the past. That's relating to Bobby Duncan, another player we've had here ironically, so plenty of Torquay connections in that incident. Hopefully they'll all go on to have good careers despite this agent controversy. The league with an early shot for City which is blocked and is out for a corner kick to City. It's a delivery from the left-hand side, an outswinger from Evans. The league wins the header at the front post, but it's over the bar and we survive after 5. 15 gone and we've got our first chance at the other end. Kozul with the ball into the box. It bobbles around a few times and Keita loses out and it's cleared long to Cura, the right back. He's got it on halfway and delivers into the box. Andrade loses out in the air though and City keep it at the back. Not sure why the highlight hasn't ended yet. It can only be a counter-attack for City, as Montero goes charging down the right side, finds Finetti whose shot's blocked on the edge, Kante clears it long, and a highlight finally ends. It's Hole at the back with a free kick. He finds Keita in the middle. Long ball forward which the Lig blocks and is cleared away for the halfway line. It's Abstein the right back for City. Down the line for Montero. Tries to cut in and there's Finetti. Plenty of space on the edge. Brilliant reverse ball for Mane. And Stojanovic tips it wide for a corner as we continue to survive after 20. We'll see out this corner and then we will change our tactic. We need to drop to a balanced mentality and we probably need to drop our tempo too. In fact, we're not going to do the tempo changes. We're going to drop our fullbacks to support duties. I'm not sure which one Cura's best at. He's naturally attacking as well, but it'll suit Coutinho better either way and protect our centre halves a little more. Just over half an hour gone, we've got a corner in for City and Finetti's got a free header. Beats his man in the air, it's 1-0 to the side. Manchester City are beating us in the Community Shield again, and unfortunately the goals come from a set piece. It's Coutinho with a throw on the left though. Andrade gets it to Kante. Can we strike back immediately? Montero wins it back though, so it doesn't look likely, as Jones starts again from the City keeper. Olivetto with a long ball forward. Evans flicks it on but Hole intercepts. Now Keita and Hole again. Out to Cura the right back who finds Yeladian. Yet to make an impact again in this one, but the misplaced pass doesn't find him. Kante's not had a great game, the new midfielder, and neither has Kozol out on the left. Is Montero charging forward though? City really causing trouble here. We have had a few more shots since the tactical changes, but we don't look very good at the back. Finetti getting yet another free header, but luckily he misses this time. We've got a throw on the right for Cura, almost become an end-to-end game now. Plays a 1-2 with Andrade and finds Keita, and now Kante the new midfielder. Yeladian charges in from the right, finds Kozol whose shot's blocked, and Coutinho picks it up on the edge. He finds Kante and now Cura. Overlapping on the right, his shot's blocked as well, and it's out for a Torquay throw on the right. It's 1-0 at the break thanks to Finetti's goal. He was unmarked in the box. It isn't the best bit of work defensively, and we expect to see a better showing in the second half, as Stuart Jelling suggests the same team talk. It's Kante to Raphael in the holding role. A good player but doesn't control the game in the same way. Richard Quirk is a good player at right back, who we're also missing out on today, but Andrade finds Keita who forces a save. Olivetto doing a good job there. But back to the holding role, it's Bacanes who comes in so often, does a really good job holding the position, really dictates the tempo of the match, something Raphael just doesn't do. We'll give it 5 more minutes as we demand more from the boys, and then we'll go and make a couple of changes. 6 of course permitted in the Community Shield, so something we're able to change if need be. Is Kante out in the middle, goes for an ambitious effort. It was nowhere near the goal and he had a simple pass out left. Not the sort of individualism we like to see in this team, something we're going to have to stamp out of him. It's Cabrita to Mane for City, Finetti with a shot just over the bar, and as we come up towards the hour mark now, City are dominating the highlights. So long ball forward to Coutinho, heads it away as far as Finetti. Finetti brings it down low and holds it up brilliantly, and Jones goes long over the top. Cura heads away but only as far as Finetti again. He hits the post, Hole clears it behind for a corner, which City will take from the left. It's another outswinger from Evans. Into the box to the back post. The Lig with a free header. What on earth's happened to our set piece marking today? With an hour gone we're lucky it's only 1, as City have had so many good chances. Let's go and make a couple of changes though. Kozol on the left's going to be replaced, as are a couple of others in the middle. Malik Kante, the new signing's replaced by Lapin. He's going to be swapped with Keita. We are going to bring on Richard Quirk at right back. The 2 new boys get in an hour. They only joined the club a couple of days ago, don't forget, so we can't expect anything special from them yet. Kozol's going to be replaced by Rutherford, just to give us a bit more attacking impetus, and we'll get back into it with half an hour to go, to see if we can get an equaliser. We're back with a corner on the right for City, an in-swinger from Evans, good punch by Stojanovic, and Lapin flicks it on further. A quarter of the game to go. Maddie Keita's looking nervous now. That's not like him at all, as we head a free kick over the bar. It was Hull who missed it on this occasion, and Coutinho struggling at the left back too. We haven't got a backup option for him, but Keita can be replaced by Probert. The youngster comes on in central midfield. Bacanes in the holding role for Raphael as well. Can those two make a difference? And we'll give it 5 more before making our last sub, where we choose between Mon Iversen and Souza. Quarter of an hour to go. We've got a corner with Rutherford. McDonnell with a bullet header just wide. We're going to make the last change as well. Yeladian replaced by Souza. Not had the best game, although it's certainly not been poor. And we're going to ask the lads to show some passion and hope it invokes one or two more chances. Is Probert on the halfway line. He finds Rutherford on the left. Into Probert again. Now Andrade, the striker, holds it up, tries to thread it through for Rutherford, but Abstein intercepts. McDonnell gets on the end of the long keeper's clearance. Baccanes clears it down the right-hand side. Souza delivers to the back post, headed away as far as Probert. Zatinho to Probert again. Poor pass which is given away possession, but is given straight back to McDonnell. It's Rutherford on left to Andrade. His shot's blocked by the keeper, but unfortunately he was adjudged to be offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. 5 to go. It's still 1-0 to City, but we've got a corner with Souza. De Ligt heads away as far as Baccanes. Into the box and headed away again. Lapin switches it to Souza in space, into the box and shoots, but it hits the side netting and the keeper had it covered, and now we go into stoppage time. 2 minutes added on and we've gone all out attacking the tactics. They've got a free kick at the other end though. Richard Quirk manages to clear it away. The cross is blocked out for a throw in. Jones will take it on the left, but this is not where we want the ball to be with 90 seconds to go. Cabrita getting it to Abstein. Intercepted by Rutherford though. Can we create a counter-attack? Can we do exactly what City did last year? Score in the last couple of minutes and then go and nick the tie on penalties. It doesn't look likely now though. Finetti in at the other end. How Hull's not been adjudged to have committed a foul there, I have absolutely no idea. Is Souza on the right hand side though. Delivers into the box and it's blocked. Is away for a corner kick though. Our final chance of the match. Souza will take it himself. An outswinger back to Probert at the edge. His shot's blocked behind for a corner, but Andrade's offside and he was adjudged to be in the eye line of the keeper. Olivetto will take it and it will be game over any second. Another really good game in a Community Shield final. We've competed with City in an even match, but unfortunately they win 1-0. Finetti with the winner in the end, and we'll tell the lads we're disappointed, but we put in a decent display considering we'd rotated the side. It's a 1-0 win for City in the curtain raiser, as the Community Shield still eludes us. We'll quickly see what the media have said about the game. City lift the Community Shield in a pretty even match, and we'll quickly go and have a look at the schedule to see when we'll next be back. Obviously Kante and Cura made debuts in that game, so there certainly were some positives as well, and we've got a relatively friendly start to the Premier League season again, so I'm hoping we can get the first 4 out the way. We've got a tough test away at City before the international break, and then we'll be back for the game immediately after. We've got Chelsea at home after that September break, and that's going to be a really tough game. The side that beat us at the end of last season, albeit in a dead rubber, and they were up there in 3rd in the Premier League, so they've certainly got lots of quality. Then after that our Champions League group starts. We'll pick out the biggest couple of games from that one, and we'll certainly show you some action from it on camera, as it's a dream to see Torquay at that level. But if you are looking forward to the season ahead, and you did enjoy the signings we've made this summer, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know who you think's going to be the best signing of the bunch, and whereabouts you think we're going to finish in the league. Have we got a chance of defending our title, or is it going to be a bit much this season? Don't forget we will focus on the Champions League more, as it is the one big competition we haven't won, and the domestic cups will just play our backup side and hope they can get us to the latter stages. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from this Torquay United story. On our new schedule we've got episodes every Sunday to Thursday at 4:30, so I hope you'll come and join me for the season ahead, which is sure looking to be a good one. Hopefully we'll defend our Premier League title, but of course that's going to be easier said than done. You may have seen FM20 was announced last week as well, so we'll have reaction to the new features coming out over the next few weeks. We'll also introduce our plans for the game, our long-term story plans, and of course some of our challenges too. There's also 3 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career. That's every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. A massive thank you to everyone that supported that series, as well as the Ashes Test playthrough we did beforehand. Then finally our Snooker 19 career continues. That's every Friday at 4:30. We're into the final event of the series now, the big one, the Snooker World Championship, and we're going to be showing action from every round as we try to go on a run to the final. But a massive thanks for watching this one, and your continued support of the channel as always. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another important episode as we start our Premier League title defence.